A stimulus check to all Americans from President Donald J. Trump. Look at this. Trump plans $1,000 to $2,000 worth of tariff rebate checks for Americans. President calls it a dividend to the people. Well, a number of analysts and experts are saying that this is the time when President Trump will send and announce these checks. Well, the reason is simple. Look at this. Inflation is so bad, Americans are counting on Black Friday just to afford groceries and everyday essentials. There was a time when millions of Americans uses Black Friday to buy electronic items because of the huge sales on it. Now they are unable to buy groceries. They are unable to fulfill their nutritional needs. And on top of it, look at this. Supreme Court lets Trump pause full SNAP payments for now. This is from CNN. This is not shocking. This is beyond shocking. And a number of analysts and experts are saying that President Trump and this administration submitted the appeal in the court because they want to give Americans a surprise. Is it a conspiracy? Is it a hoax? Is it a political stunt? Well, we're gonna dive into the details of this very important update in this video. But before I begin, all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. A $1,000 to $2,000 worth of stimulus checks to almost 78 million Americans who earn $100,000 and less from President Donald J. Trump. Look at this. President Donald Trump once again floated the idea of issuing rebate checks to Americans funded by the hundreds of billions of dollars in the tariff revenue imposed by his administration. Are you waiting for another stimulus check in your mail? Well, if you like the sound of it, then this is indeed a very important update for you, because right now the inflation is so bad that Americans are counting on Black Friday just to afford groceries and everyday essentials. And the reason is that there is no SNAP payments in the month of November. Well, a number of states say that we simply don't have the money. We cannot send SNAP food stamps to Americans, means we cannot refill the EBT cards. Now, Trump administration said that they have filed an appeal into the Supreme Court, and what happened? They got a stay or a pause into those payments, means around 42 million Americans will struggle, and they're already struggling in this inflation. Well, look at this. On Thursday, Trump said that the government has already taken hundreds of billions of dollars from tariff imposed on foreign nations since April. They're just starting to kick in, and he said that adding that ultimately your tariffs are going to be over $1 trillion a year in an interview with One America News. Now, there is a very important thing that you need to understand, that if this administration is receiving billions and billions and billions of dollars from these reciprocal tariffs that President Trump imposed on almost every country in the world, then why this administration is not funding SNAP food stamp benefits? They can simply use this tariff money to fund SNAP, and when the government reopens, they can actually divert whatever money is allocated for SNAP benefits towards that tariff fund. Well, this is what a number of analysts and experts are saying, but some are saying that this administration is doing it to put pressure on Democratic Party to reopen the government. But you know what's the most shameful thing is that in the fight of these two parties, low-income Americans are struggling. You know how many people receive food stamp in this country? Around 42 million. And they are unable to put 3 meals a day for themselves and their loved ones. They are telling their kids that we don't have the money to put 3 meals a day, and it means that you can only eat once a day. Just imagine, we live in one of the richest country in the world, or you can say the richest country in the world, and we don't have the money to feed our own low income Americans? Just imagine the image that we are portraying in front of the world. Well, we claim that we are the richest country, we are the most powerful nation in the world, and we cannot feed our own citizens. Quite shocking, to be honest. Look at this. When asked about what he intends, and I'm talking about President Trump, to do with all of this money, Trump said that his priority is paying down the nation's massive debt. But he also said that number one, we are paying down debt, but he said that while adding that $37 trillion national debt is very little, relatively speaking, because tariff collections are reaching unprecedented levels, according to a report by New York Post. With that being said, we'll pay back debt, but we also might make a distribution to the people. Trump said he described the plan as a dividend to the people of America. Now, the biggest question is that how much he's thinking right now. Well, he said that we are thinking maybe $1,000 to $2,000. It would be great. Well, this is huge because right now, a number of analysts are saying that President Trump is losing his popularity. And if he sends these checks to Americans, especially during this shutdown and when all of these chaotic scenes are here about SNAP food stamp benefits, then President Trump will regain his popularity, which will be a great thing, not just for this administration, not just for President Trump, but for Republican Party. But before I even go further, I would like to ask you, do you support these $2,000 worth of dividend, tariff, or stimulus checks from President Trump? If you do, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 checks. Again, if you support them, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 checks, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. And this is huge, by the way, because if President Trump will send these checks, it's indeed going to be great for President Trump and this administration, because certainly this administration will regain the trust of millions of Americans, because who minds getting more money, especially in times where inflation is here and buying basic necessities is difficult. Well, we're gonna leave it for the next video, but do you know that if you are a senior, you can save around $1,100 when it comes to your Medicare plan? That's why I partnered with Chapter, where you can get unbiased help from a real person absolutely free. All you need to do is to call the number on the screen, 212-461-4492, and get the help that you deserve absolutely free. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.